You smell that in the air? The smell of disappointment and familial disputes around Christmas. I don't know what it is, but there's something about Christmas that sometimes brings out the worst of us. It's a time of telling people in our family what we really think of them and how they've been frustrating us all year. I think George Costanza had it right with his idea of Festivus. Anyways, I've scoured Reddit to bring together examples of people's Christmases going wrong this year, and it's chock full of petty revenge, arguments, disputes, even throwing people out of houses. This is some really good stuff in here I found on Reddit.
It's a PS5!
Oh my god!
Oh my god, I wanted a PC! I want a PC, I don't like this!
For a lot of us, Christmas is an amazing time of the year, but there is no denying that there is something very stressful and difficult about it. You spend all year preparing for your holiday, saving up money, your goals to accomplish for the next year, and then finally the holidays hit and you've emptied out your bank account because you've bought everybody gifts, you've squandered all your free time because you've spent it preparing dinners, going to other people's dinners, trying to think of gifts to get for other people, stressing out. The whole time, all you really wanted to do was kick back, not spend money, relax with your family, and plan out your moves for the next year. Anyways, the point of this video is just to shine a light on the dark underbelly of Christmas and really examine what it does to us at the worst of times. So the first one is from our petty revenge. Christmas gift revenge. This was about 23 years ago, so it's a bit dated, but my husband was lousy at giving gifts. He would get what he wanted for himself. That year, I came home to a large box wrapped up about 10 days before Christmas, and he said it was from me. He was so excited. Mind you, we have always been pretty broke, so we, or should I say I, always bought for our children and his greedy family, mother-in-law demands. We always did without. For some reason, I wasn't that excited about this gift. Intuition. Well, Christmas Eve comes and we open gifts. He gets all excited, tells me that I'm going to love this present. I open the box to find a shop vac. We had hardwood and linoleum, so I always swept and mopped and had no need for it. He told me that this is wonderful because it cleans up the garage, his domain, even picks up water, and he said it worked great because he already tried it before wrapping it up. Amazing. Of course, he probably had an oil spill in his garage after he fucked up his oil change. I was pissed. He bought it for himself. I would have been happy with a $5 necklace that turned my neck green. That night, I wouldn't even go to bed with him. He comes into the living room where I was laying down and told me to come to bed. I told him I wouldn't because I couldn't look at him. He tells me how I was extremely selfish because gifts were to be what we as a family could use, not what we want. Speaking from experience, my dad used to always get me gifts that he wanted, right? I'd be a 12-year-old. He'd get me a set of tools. He'd get me a drill, you know? Like, it was always it was kind of cool, but always like, I know you got this for yourself. I laid there all night and plotted my revenge. I had to wait for a year, but like they say, best served cold. I kept quiet and told nobody of my plan for revenge. 50 weeks later, I found it. I wasn't even looking for it, but it was staring right at me. As to say, here I am, and it is time. It was a huge box. I quickly purchased the gift, got some wrapping paper for it, and hid it. Didn't want any sneaky peets. Christmas Eve, while he was at work, I put the present under the tree, took 2 rolls of cheap wrapping paper, and I put some ribbon and bow on it. It also had a nice weight for it. We start opening gifts, and I wait a bit. Finally, his eyes light up and see this big box and find out it was his. He was so excited, and I told him this is specially bought for him. He opens the box to find a case of toilet paper. I then quoted him, "Christmas was not for what we would want, but what we as a family need or could use. We all wipe." He was furious. He complained to his brothers and everyone. My family and his brothers told him that he deserved the toilet paper. To this day, no husband in my family will ever buy a vacuum cleaner for their wives as gifts. I mean, that's pretty weak, you know. It's like buying your girlfriend or any woman in your family cleaning supplies as a gift. It's putting a target on your back. You got something coming to you if you do that. Am I the asshole for breaking up with my boyfriend after he gave me a crappy Christmas present? I, female 28, broke up with my boyfriend, male 38, on Xmas Day after we exchanged gifts. I have a lot going on. I'm moving houses, and I'm dealing with a new job that has me feeling that I have a lot to catch up with from the past director. I set my alarm very early in the morning last week and took the time to buy him and his daughter, female 16, presents that they could enjoy. To be fair, there's an income gap between us, but even a pair of affordable earrings could have made me feel happy because the house is a mess. I even closed off the living room with curtains so that the stack of boxes and things wouldn't make the Xmas decorations look ugly. I made sure the tree looked nice, I bought the food that he likes, and I made myself pretty for him. He arrived, and the first thing he did was to make fun of my makeup. He also made fun of my Santa hat. He laughed like I'm some sort of ridiculous cartoon. We ate and talked. I gave him my present, AirPods, which he loved to the point of posting on IG. His daughter got her present, Hot Topic stuff, and I was very glad that she loved it. He took her back to her mom's house and didn't get back in an hour like he said. That's their Xmas arrangement. We were supposed to spend time together, but he came back about 3 hours later because his mother had visitors and he wanted to catch up. He sat watching TV and gave me zero affection. He gave me his present, which to be honest, I would have preferred not to get anything. I'm not a drinker. He got me a small wine bottle that I've seen marked at $3 to $5 USD at the 7-Eleven. I know I wasn't at my best because he said my face changed. Ooh, this is rough. He has a job. He could have gotten something actually thinking of me. I felt horrible when he said he could give me an IOU and that the rest of my present was in his pants. Ooh. It's a pretty small present. I ignorantly thought it was some game. Maybe he hid a small gift inside his pants. Nope, I was supposed to take his boy parts as a gift. You see that? That's your present. Stick your hand in. Come grab your present. Why are men so awful? I was furious. It was cheap, and while I'm very sexual, it wasn't sexy. It felt vulgar. I asked him to leave and thanked him for giving me the worst Christmas and took back my present. I cried after he left. When he texted me if I was okay, I broke up with him and blocked him. His siblings have been trying to reach me. I blocked them all. One of them accused me of being materialistic and shallow, and also said that not everyone has a fancy job and that I'm being unfair for expecting a certain level of gifting. Am I the asshole? What do I think here? I'll take away a point from her for taking back her gift. AirPods, I mean, it's pretty expensive. Okay, no, maybe not. Maybe I would take back the gift too. Like, here, like, let's just... What I would do... Okay, it's not so bad. If she says, like, here, you take back your gift, I'll take back my gift, we'll walk away, nothing happened. Like, no point in getting someone a gift if you're just gonna break up with them, right? So I'll say for that, she's safe. And for the rest of it, yeah, she's safe too. This other guy's a piece of work. In whose mind is it a good idea to say, hey, I didn't really get you anything this year. If you want your present this year, you're gonna have to reach in my pants to get it. Like, that is awful. Also, too, it's Christmas, no affection. He comes back way later. Yeah, not the asshole. This guy sucks. We actually got a feel-good Christmas story. My boyfriend and I broke up on Christmas. We had a lovely evening. He cooked dinner, we exchanged gifts, we went upstairs, and somehow we got to talking. He said he doesn't love me. He doesn't think he can love anyone, but he enjoys my company. I asked him, is this enough for him? He said yes, but he doesn't think it's enough for me. I feel like this guy's been watching like Andrew Tate or something. He said I'm far more of a selfless person than he is, and I said I think we balance each other out. He then said he doesn't care about the things I care about, and doesn't see ever bringing my life into his, with my animals and my friends. I said, I think you're going to miss me. I got up, I took myself out of his bedside table, walked out, realized I forgot my laptop on the sofa, went back in. He said, what about your gifts? I just shook my head no, grabbed my laptop, walked out, blocked him on everything. There's no coming back from that. I guarantee you that guy cried that night. That night he realized, oh, I do love her. I love her. Too late, bro. Anyways, that's a feel-good Christmas story because I'm sure there's a lot of people who probably wish they did that in a similar situation. That's a feel-good Christmas story. Am I the asshole for throwing my husband and my son out for a few days before Christmas? Am I the asshole for throwing my husband and my son out a few days before Christmas? Husband, 41, and I, 38 female, have 2 children, our daughters, Rachel, 15, and our son, Tim, 13. Since forever, I have been begging my husband to do more around the house, but he continues to be a lazy man-child. That sounds like me. He does the bare minimum when I force him, and that's it. And our son is learning from him, not doing his chores, not cleaning up his messes, and expecting his sister to cater to him. Hubby is enabling him and secretly overrules me when I punished him. We have had more than one argument because of their laziness. This is getting spicy, actually. does she mean to say she actually threw out her husband and her son into the cold before Christmas? Because that is wild. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. That is wild. Yesterday, I was shopping with Rachel and we met a friend from work and her boyfriend. So I called my husband and asked him and Tim to clean the house ASAP because I will bring guests. When we arrived home nearly 2 hours later, the house was a mess. I had never felt so embarrassed in my life. My friend smiled and downplayed it as normal, but I was able to see the looks she exchanged with her BF. We chatted for 20 minutes and I cleaned the living room for a bit and then they left. I finally had enough. I told my hubby and Tim to get the F out of my house and don't come back until they learn to respect me and be helpful around the house. We had a bad argument. See, her 13-year-old son, like, he's out on the streets, but like still, like, I mean, more so her husband needs to learn, and the child can be taught, but the husband needs to learn. But still, she threw them both though. I would at least keep the son there and be like, look, you want to end up like that guy? Then continue as him. If you don't want to end up out there, then start cleaning up, you know? We had a bad argument, and in the end, they gave up and left. My son has called me since from the motel where he and hubby are staying and begged me to let him back in. I told him he can ask me in 2024 again, and I might consider it. They are banned for Christmas. Family will gather in my house this year and New Year's Eve. Tim will then return. Hubby, I am not sure yet. My mom and my sister are against this. They think I am way too harsh, especially to Tim, but I think he needs a serious wake-up call, and this will be it. And I don't give an F about hubby at this point. Am I the asshole? No, but kind of. Your son, like, come on, it's your son. He's 13. He can learn. He can be taught to be more responsible for himself, to clean and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Edit, the text clearly says Tim will return home. This is just a wake-up call for him. Maybe he can even return for Christmas if he promises to do his chores conscientious from now on. Conscientious? Okay. Quick update, my son called me again. I explained the situation and what I expect from him. He agreed to sign a paper where all his chores will be listed. He also agreed to help his sister with all her chores until New Year's Eve. I picked up my son from the hotel in the early morning. He couldn't wait. Lol. I apologized for throwing him out, but explained my reasoning to him. He signed the paper and promised to do better from now on. I'm happy to have him back. Hubby tried to talk to me when I picked him up, but I didn't listen. As for him, he can stay away for a while, and I will have time to think about our relationship. So, okay. I'm just curious to know where am I at, like where the subreddit's at on this. What's the consensus here? Throw out the husband, keep the son. There's still a chance you can influence him to be a better human. If left with your husband, that chance is gone. It's about the most level-headed take here. Throwing out the son is a bit harsh. Christmas brings us all closer together, doesn't it? Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you had a great Christmas, happy holidays, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, anything. I hope it was amazing. Have a good one. Bye.